Morning, everybody. It's 8:41, and it's another Omicron Monday. This is your pre-opening comment for Monday, the 20th of December. It's a short week, probably shorter than you think. We're closed on Friday, but most people will be gone by Thursday midday. So all the action, I'm going to guess, is going to take place in the earlier part of the week. So Europe and Asia both down. Omicron up, big time up. Transmissibility, major numbers. We're talking about places that are seeing doubles and triples in their cases over a period of 48 to 72 hours. And I mean, it's really tough out there. And so we have questions about oil and the demand there. We have questions about the reopening market. We have, the oil is down over $3, and at the same time, you have the cruise lines down sharply, airlines down a little. In any event, at 4:30 this morning, we were down about 600 in the Dow, about 175 in the NASDAQ, and about 80 in the S&P. And if you read in my letter last night, the velocity of the S&P moves is really getting out of hand. Just now, the Dow had regained a bit. I've actually seen it down about 350 as the best recovery so far. Right now it's down 429. The NASDAQ continues lower, down 250, and the S&P has come up a little from minus 80 to minus 63. And Goldman Sachs cut their GDP numbers based on the fact that the Biden Build Back more expensively is not going to pass. So that's a hit on both jobs and numbers. China cut its prime rate, but only 5 basis points from 385 to 380. And Spider-Man had a huge opening this week, third largest in history, no adjustment for the pandemic. However, I will say that most of the places that are talking about it from Thursday through Sunday, not the weekend, not Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday, Thursday through Sunday. So Spider-Man did 253 million, which is really a home run. And by the way, I went to see a movie yesterday at an AMC theater with my granddaughter, and it was not Spider-Man. And the movie was supposed to start at 5:30. At 5:30, there were exactly 3 other people in the theater besides us. I mean, it's a multiplex theater, but in our theater, 3 people. By the time the movie started, after all the advertising, we had ballooned up to 12 people. So I don't know how they figure it. It was $40 for tickets or $35 for tickets. But the fact is, they said they sold 7 million tickets Thursday through Sunday for Spider-Man, and that's great. Not so much unless you were there specifically for that. Okay, Moderna up 23 to 317 on the news that their their shot and booster continues to be very effective even on Omicron. And so we're up 7.8% there. Telephone was upgraded by Barclays. Woohoo. 2411 up 33 cents, and AMC, despite those 7 million tickets, The stock is 28.47, down 65. This is a huge problem, folks. Um, as I wrote last night, the preponderance and the weight of the evidence here is tough. Any one of these things you can shake off, but when you have Omicron, when you have lowered GDP, when you have very narrowing leadership, when you have dramatic numbers in new highs, new lows to the low side, these things really mount up and people will step aside. Unfortunately, what they'll do is they'll sell the ones that are already down 25 and 30% to support their moves in the big names, which are only down 5 and 6%, and that will not work out. Okay, futures. Here's the oil. I warned last week. I'm still bullish the oil, don't get me wrong. But I did mention last week that we were about to cross to the upside the 5 and 20-day moving averages. And we've seen that before. We saw it here where we started to roll to the upside and then broke sharply. We saw it here where we started to roll to the upside and broke, not as sharply on a day-by-day basis, but for the week, pretty much. And so now we're seeing that again, where it looks like we are rolling again. I think that these lows down here at 85 and a half, 85 and 3/4, and this is the closing low, 65.57. I think that may hold, and if it does, I'd probably be a buyer down here at 65 and a half with a stop on a closing basis below that number. Oil, definitely a tough one, down $3. Gold down $6.70, which is coming off a nice recovery from the last couple of days. But as I mentioned, we're getting into this area where it could be a problem. I don't think we need this close in. As you can see, we've had this massive rally from 1750 all the way to 1815. So $65, that's a pretty decent rally. But there's just not much there. Declining open interest is a good sign. Crossover on the MACD is a good sign, but I don't think I could buy it much above 1790 or so. Let's see. Bitcoin and Ethereum kind of stabilizing a little. Silver down 25 cents. Little bit of rally back in the stock indexes. The dollar is down a little, only down 300 in Bitcoin, down 49.5 in Ethereum. Bonds, which were up on a flight to safety overnight, got up as high as 163.19. And have now turned back down. I've been talking about this as a place to short the bonds with a very low risk. So here we have a high of 164.12. Here we have a high of 164.01. And the rest of these 164.15, 164.16. There should be a fair amount of resistance up here. And this kind of tells the tale after being up over $1 to being down on the day. All right, everyone, keep your position sizes appropriate. And remember, you don't have to trade this market. You can sit and watch and wait for the ones that you really want in either direction.